Okay, so the teacher asked me to do a 4-page essay, 4 or 5-page essay on what I learned on in sociology. I'm not very, one, I think that's kind of boring, and the next, I think I'm just, I'd rather do the video and show you guys my 3 examples that I learned in sociology, something that really got to me. So here's some, 3 examples and a short definition of what sociology is.
Sociology is an academic discipline, an attempt to seek knowledge and understanding through critical investigation. Sociology is the systematic study of social interaction at a variety of levels. When sociologists talk about the systematic study of social interaction, what they mean is that social behavior is regular and patterned, and that it takes place between individuals in small groups, large organizations, and entire societies. In this video, I will be giving 3 examples that I learned while taking a sociology course this semester. Before I learned about nonverbal communication, I would call something like this beef. Not beef like what you eat at a steakhouse, but beef as in conflict between 2 groups. And in this situation, these are 2 graffiti crews. They just crossed each other out. This is also a good example of deviance. Behavior or trait that violates expected rules and norms. The next one is homelessness. Homeless individuals. See, when I run into homeless people, I used to think to myself and say, why can't this guy just get a job? He looks fine to work. All he needs to do is clean up a little, shave, that's all. In sociology, I learned that homelessness is due to a combination of factors, some of which are beyond the control of individuals. For example, lack of education, low-paying jobs, domestic violence, substance abuse, and the inability of relatives or friends to help during crisis. Now I have a different view on homeless people. I know that it's not always their fault, and that there are many factors that play the situation. Education. That was probably the most important one that caught my attention. The reason for that is because right now I'm in the process of getting my behavioral science major, and I plan on teaching elementary or going to an alternative school to teach at-risk kids. I used to just see it as like black and white, you go to school, get an education. Sociology gave me a closer look on how functionalists see the benefits of education, like encouraging culture, innovation. For example, research universities that receive billions of dollars every year to develop computer technology, treatments for disease, and programs to address social problems such as crime and drug abuse. I got a closer look at the things that I will be getting into and learning about in the future. So, sociology really opened up my eyes in that certain area.
So overall, this class, is pretty dope. And by dope, I mean, I got to meet different people in my group. Those people were pretty chill. It was a good experience. I got to, learn a little more about myself and other people's ideas. So it was definitely a good experience. Since I know a little bit about it now, I want to know more. That's why I registered for a class called Social Action Through Art, and it's gonna be in the spring. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be more hands-on because we're gonna be doing more volunteer work, and I think that with this background that I got from this class, I think I'm gonna be pretty good on that. So it's definitely a good course to take. Yeah, that's it.